Hey, I want to welcome Kennesaw Happenings. We're glad you're here. We're at Overture, which is right by Academy Sports and back of QT and Popeyes. And in the studio, we've had a first. We have three people from Global Blessings. Two are going to represent Global Blessings on this podcast, and one person's overseeing to make sure we don't get any intruders. So I want to thank y'all for being here. So tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve. And let's just go right next to me. So Esther, you start out and then we'll go.
Okay. So my name is Esther Woghiren. Together with my husband, we started a non-profit foundation that serves seniors that are really in need of help with things like rental assistance, utilities, you name it. So we service the seniors that really are in need of help.
Awesome. All right. Now, who is that young lady beside you?
I'm Lafferty. I'm the event coordinator liaison for Global Blessings.
Awesome. So I met Ann at the Atlanta Expo, and I'll have to say she lit up. Well, that helped. And then she connected us to Esther. So we're glad that we're here today because we can hear a little bit of the story behind Global Blessings. So Esther, first, why Global Blessings? How did it come about?
So Global Blessing was born due to the needs that we experience because we run senior living homes. We encounter so many families and seniors that really don't have enough resources to be where they need to be. So myself and my husband thought about it because there was a resident in our home that really was in that situation. So we went home and thought about this idea that it would be good to start something that will help some seniors that are in need. Yeah.
So are we saying it's like a 501c?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have
all right.
501c.
And before I go to Ann, when did you put this together? Like when did the vision, when did you kind of see that need out there?
It was 2019. So that's when we started the application to get our 501cs. So 2020, it was approved. Since then, we've been trying to raise funds locally, and we've been supporting some of the funds from our pocket as well.
Awesome. So, Ann, we met, and so you immediately connected with us. So I'll have to say this. I will be out there and I'll mention something to people, and you would think that more people would say, oh, yes, free publicity, PR. Are you kidding me? Yes. But you'd be surprised how many people don't follow up. So, Ann, why do you first, how did you come to work with Esther and give our viewers a little bit of background there?
I can tell you the whole story if you want, but it's not too long, I promise.
Okay, absolutely.
My husband and I had a business together for 8 years now. It's a junk removal business.
Mm-hmm.
And he came home one day and said, I got this awesome opportunity working for Trash Taxi, running the commercial side, front load, dumpsters. So the whole division he runs for the commercial side for Trash Taxi. And I said, what am I going to do? But I have a dream. And I've had this dream for almost my whole life. Mm-hmm. And I said, it's really emotional, but
yes.
So I told my husband, I'm going to go on Indeed.com and I'm going to find a facility that's looking for an event coordinator, director, mm-hmm. and see what happens. So I applied, put in my resume in Indeed.com. Her son, Rod, connected with me. Mm-hmm. And said, would you like to come for an interview? And I got all excited. Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, my dream's going to come true. So I waited. I kept on reaching out to Esther and David, Rod and Esther. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh my God, I really want this job. Like, so I'm like, it's a family owned business. That's what I want because I'm family orientated and I mm-hmm. love family. And they are like my family. Oh my gosh, I would do the world for them. So they interviewed me, and 1 week later, I got the job and been there almost 6 months now.
I will say one of their talents, and I don't even know them, is recognizing a superstar when they come in, they fall in your lap.
Yes.
Because I can tell, I go out, Bartina and I will talk about, we invite a person on and they're saying like, well, what kind of, they're asking all these questions and I have to come back and I'm saying, did I tell you it was going to cost anything? I don't know if I missed something because I'm talking about free publicity. So do you want to tell your story? But you'd be surprised how many people don't do it. So it is kind of a trait of people that are decisive, that know where they want to go, that like you said, have a vision of what you want to do.
You gotta love what you do. If
Yeah,
you don't love
absolutely.
what you do, then it's not gonna work out.
Absolutely. So what do you say, I'll go back to Esther here. What do you say like the biggest challenge has been since you put this 501c together and you started kind of getting out in the community? What have you found to be the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is we have a lot of people to help. We need some funds to help these individuals. Like for instance, this year, our benefit period starts in March, but we already have tons of applications and we need funds to reach as more people as we can. So the biggest challenge for us is funding, I'll say. The needs are there, but we need a lot more funding to help as many as we can.
Awesome. So I was in the digital business before I got into podcasting, and I would always tell people, they would say, I need a website. And I said, okay, why? And they'd say, well, I got to be able to tell people what I do. I said, what if the website was in the desert and nobody went by it? Do you think that would help you? And they go, of course not. So if you have a beautiful website and nobody knows about it, you're a well-kept secret. So we always say it. I believe when we talked before about events, galas, things that involve the community. So, Anne, what would you say, like, why do you enjoy event planning? Part of this.
It's part of my passion as well. I have a lot of passions and I have a lot of goals in life, and I try to pursue them. And when I get to that position that I'm actually in, if in need, I go over and beyond and do what I can to do my best for the people that I love. And it is my passion. That's why.
And it's funny because we only talk for maybe 5-8 minutes. I don't even know how long, but it wasn't very long because there's a lot of people running around, and I don't remember who introduced us, but there was somebody that said, hey, I don't remember, but the point is like when you're around people and you have that, I call it that, the glow or the it factor.
Everybody says that to me.
Yeah, I know. I didn't do very well in school, didn't even graduate with my class in high school, and I failed English. Now, English is my primary language, so that's probably not. People say, how many languages you speak? And I said, 0, because I couldn't even pass English. But what the point is, you take what God gives you and you run with it.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
I disliked classes. I was in the remedial reading. I was in it wasn't like you would run and tell your friends, hey, guess what? I'm in the remedial reading class. They would go, okay. Yeah. Have you ever thought about moving up? But my point is, so having fun with people, kidding around, laughing and getting to know people was something I always would gravitate to, because I never got an A in school. Never. I can't remember one. So my point of this is, you have that passion, you're bringing it to Global Blessings. Tell us just a little bit about, I know he's touched on the gala. So what is that like, Anne? Are you involved in that at this point? Okay,
Yes.
Gotcha. So what does that look like?
Well, I go and I try to find a venue at first, and then I try to find what decorations I want to put, and I go talk to people. And my husband said, Ann, why don't you have it at the Governor's Gun Club? That's a great venue. And I said, yeah, that's a great idea, honey. So I put it all together, got all the vendors, sponsors, whatever people I can get to donate, for this amazing cause, and just made it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I love it. I mean, I will say this, and I just want to bring it out because we have a lot of 501(c)s that we've had on our show, and I've always been involved, whether it was No Longer Bound, Extension, different organizations that touch your heart. And so you see how people do things, and everybody has a gala.
Yeah.
So I had a person once said, like, you have to recognize the market. If everybody has a gala, does your gala stand out, or do you stand out? Because it's not that there's a shortage of money out there. It's usually a shortage of who knows your story and who can come alongside you, connect with you emotionally, get behind your story, and contribute to your story. So I have some ideas for you, because I haven't had a person talk about the gala part of the 501(c) in a couple months. So we'll talk a little bit later, but there's a way. I guess the concept is you put all this time and energy, let's just say the Governor's Gun Club. Now that's indoors, but some people have outdoor galas, and it rains or it snows. And here you putting all this effort for one day, and Mother Nature is not in line with your gala. And all of a sudden, you got to wait another year to be able to recover, because usually it's like 80% of the funds that come into an organization is during galas. Mm-hmm. So you're risking that one day. Things that are out of our control can throw a nonprofit down, because you got to have funds. I mean, you can't go to Publix and say, hey, I contribute a lot. Can I get free groceries today? They don't work like that. Will they give you a gift card and support you? Yes. But you can't take your organization and shop based on the good deeds that you've done. So having a way that every day you're out there telling your story, making sure people connect with your mission, and not putting all the eggs in the one basket. And I tell you what, you have Ann here. So you got her 360. Oh, well, no, I wouldn't say you don't work 7 days a week, but you have her more than one day a year. Yes. And you have a talented person who connects, who understands people, who's passionate, who has a vision of what y'all are looking to do in this organization. Okay, let me go first. That was my soap opera. Let me jump off of my soapbox. Oh, not soapbox. Okay, so Esther, tell me, like, when you were in the home care business, your other business for profit. When did you start that? What was behind getting that part of your business together?
Well, I've been in healthcare for a long time, more than 25 years, and my focus was always the seniors. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's where I got my passion from. So I started as a CNA, which is certified nursing assistant, and then went to nursing school. But my focus was always in geriatrics. Mm-hmm. So that's where the passion started. So while I was in nursing school is when this dream of taking care of elderly on our own came true. So I discussed with my husband as well, and we started a senior living business. So that's where everything started. So I have a lot of passion for seniors. Mm-hmm. That's all I knew since I came to this part of the world. Gotcha. That's all I've ever done. So
would you say, because I'm always curious, like, was there several people that you took care of early on that kind of forged that that heart for seniors? What really drove? Because as a nurse, you can do pediatrics, you can do emergency room, you can do lots of different areas to serve.
Yes.
Why seniors and why geriatric? You know what I want to say. Dyslexia, that's sometimes the words. So, why serving seniors and why did you develop a passion for it?
Okay, so I'll give you a little history of, I have a degree in chemistry physics. That's back in Nigeria. So when we came here, the only job you can actually do that would be easier for you to take care of family would be certified nursing assistant.
Okay.
So I went to school for that. And once I entered the industry and keep working with the seniors, I developed great passion for it. I will never forget one night, a resident was dying and she only had one son. And the son was not there, but I was there with my coworker, and she literally died in front of me. And that was my first time of experiencing death, really. So the important thing about that story that I carry with me every day is the son, when he called, when we told him the mother has passed, he asked me, was anybody with my mom? And I said, yes, I was there. So I teared up that day. After that day, everything changed about me and seniors. I'm like, I know I can do this, because she was talking to me while she was passing, actually. So every time I talk about it, I want to tear up.
Sure. No.
So after that day, my heart, everything I got was into becoming a nurse, being more intimate with my patient, know more about the senior community. So that's what we've been doing since then. So my husband is an engineer as well, but when I told him that I wanted to get in this field, he came along with me and left his profession. And it's a family affair. My whole family, we're all in healthcare. We have our kids work for us.
Wow,
so
that's good.
The whole family is involved in this. So yes, that's where we.
So would it be fair for our viewers to say that you are all in?
I'm 100%, 110% in.
Yes.
This is our passion, as a family, as individual, everybody, every one of our kids have taken care of a resident. So that's how passionate we all are about it.
I love that story. It warms my heart. I had hernia surgery about, a year ago. And so I was in here and I didn't have like the healthcare options. So I had met a lady. So she basically, I hired her to drive home, take care, just the basic thing for one day. And there was a gentleman, he was I think it was electrical or mechanical engineer at KSU. And he was wonderful. And I was like, wow, at 20 years old, he's serving seniors. I mean, I called Louisa up and I said, where on earth did you find this guy? And she goes, he applied. I said, no way. Nobody applies to take care of seniors at 22. It's usually like you have a grandmother or a grandfather, or you're touched by that. But here is a guy that, for some reason, he wanted to serve seniors, and he was crushing it out there. The ones that he would be like in charge of for a day or two or a week, all requested that he come back, because it's very rare that people get that early in life. I mean, it's just like you have to have special upbringing or be around people to understand what you just said. When that person passed, you'll never forget that.
I will never.
Never. I mean, end of life is end of life. And we had a hospice. My dad passed probably about 10 years ago. We were all there, but hospice, holy mackerel, that is like the people that serve on hospice. I mean, because they're every day coming alongside people that, it's at the end of their life.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm not going to make it through here unless we talk about some other things. So, okay, so let's talk about like when you look at your everyday like things that you set priorities for. How do you determine, like in a day, because there's all kinds of things tugging on our strings of time. And time is something we only get 24 hours. We can't like say, I want 25 today. So, Amy, why don't you talk first and then we'll go to Esther. How do you prioritize what you're going to do for a given day?
Oh God, I do a lot. In the morning, I work with Global Blessings and get things done for the fundraiser events. And then I go to the personal care home and as an activities director or coordinator, whatever. And then at night, I go do the junk removal business with my husband and weekends as well when we have to do it. My daughter's sports on top. I was at the game until 11 o'clock at night last night in the cold for 5 hours. So I try to manage day by being organized.
Right.
If I'm not organized, I don't know what I would do. Like I write down notes. I make sure I remind myself. I put in the calendar because I don't want to disappoint anyone. I want to make sure I'm there on time. I get my job done. I make people happy, smile and laugh.
Yep.
Because I'm the type of person that can't sit. I always have to do something.
Right.
Like even at work, if I'm in that TV room with them amazing, incredible seniors, I got to go 5 minutes to each one of them and make sure they have a smile on their face, make sure they glow, make sure they know they're important, that they're not alone. They have me. So I just manage my day by organizing.
I'm just, my brain goes to this question. How did you grow up with that kind of attitude? Who influenced you?
My parents. They're my family. They're the most amazing people. We're very close. We would do the world for each other, just like how Esther's family is. Mm-hmm. My family's just alike.
Wow.
They raised me very well.
I can tell.
Respect.
Yes.
Personality, make sure everybody's taken care of. Mm-hmm. I put people first before me. And the one thing I'm a people pleaser. And if I can't be there when somebody needs me, it breaks my heart.
Sure. No, that you'll love once you get to, we're a giving community.
Yes, that's what it's supposed to be.
Well, it is, but there's a few takers out there.
Yeah.
So, it just is life.
Yeah.
If we think that there's not good and evil out there, I think we're just not being realistic. So surrounding yourself with givers, attaching yourself with givers, I can see why that you were drawn to Global Blessings. And I love the hustle. What you were telling me there, I was worn out hearing what your schedule is. Yeah. And I think it's just like, it's like what we always talk about with our seniors is movement is medicine. And you got to keep moving, moving.
Oh yeah, that keeps you alive.
Yes, exactly. Because we kind of like, and you probably see it in your work. Isolation is not good.
It's deadly. Yeah,
it is, and so it crushes us when we have a community here, and that people that could participate choose not to. And I know that, hey, look, everybody has choices in life. And, so having the ability to know, I think some people don't realize or haven't experienced as much community. And when you do, you're hooked if you have the right heart, because you're having fun, you're enjoying people, you're around people. If you're going to your room and you're isolated and you watching TV or doing things, there's plenty of people read. That's a wonderful thing, but they always come down and hang out too. Yeah. So they have their quiet time and they have their time with community. Mm-hmm. So Esther, so tell us, like our viewers, what would you say if you had to request? I know money drives everything. Do you accept volunteers, or is there something that if people don't have the financial resources to support you, is there ways they can serve with you guys?
Yes, we accept volunteers. As a matter of fact, 80% of our employees, that we call them, are volunteers. Many people that heard our stories and wanted to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can volunteer on, you could go to our website at www.myglobalblessings.com and sign up for volunteer opportunities. Like past Thanksgiving, we gave away some turkeys to seniors. So we're planning on doing some drives sometime this year as well. Those days will be posted on our website.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we will need more hands. Also, there are positions that are open that we need to fill. It's not a paying position, that they're all volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
So we can use volunteers in some of our positions right now, because we're still, like you said, we're still looking for funds to
Right.
fund those employees. But right now we can afford to pay people full-time
Mm-hmm.
to work in our organizations.
Well, I know, and I know Bartina touched on this. This was with, she does Senior Smiles. And so there was a person that was on our show, and part of it was serving first, and then it led to a full-time position.
Yes.
I don't know the exact transition, but it's kind of like our senior community, to serve is to give. And when your heart's full, you're doing well. So I would, just to challenge our community, because we're here at Overture, and we do have an echo into the senior community. So if our viewers know of people that want to serve, and you want to connect with Global Blessings and be able to impact your community, we will do this in the show notes. We're going to get the links to different things that we talked about. And I want you to, if you feel like somebody, share this episode with them. Or if you personally say, you know what, I'd love to serve 5 hours a week, whatever it is. I think you'll find that when you do serve, it changes you. If you haven't already, I'm just speaking on, because serving, I think, is essential to everything. It's like when if you're having a difficult time grieving, or you've lost a loved one, if you pour your heart into serving, your heart kind of mends faster. I don't know what it is, but it does help.
It does.
Would you agree?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we always say in the addiction area, with Extension No Longer Bound, I know they talk about serving. They talk about taking the addiction off of self and serving others helps you to kind of recover and come back from what can be a very dark time in somebody's life. So as we want people, we want you to come back. So, because I would love to hear how things are progressing as we, get more people knowing about Global Blessings. So tell our viewers, how can they get a hold of you? What would be the best way to reach you?
So we have our phone number, actually is 470-819-4339. Or you can also reach us on our website, www.myglobalblessings.com.
Okay. Awesome. So I want both of you to, we usually do this when we have one person on, but we have two, so we're going to get two for one.
Yes.
Okay. So what we do is, I want Anne to go first.
Mm-hmm.
What would you want our viewers to take home from this podcast? And then we'll go to Esther.
Just check out their website, call them. It's an amazing cause. They're amazing folks, and I'm very blessed to have them in my life. And if they have any questions, they're more than happy to call and check out the website and check out all our fundraiser events. Check out what's, for the gala. The gala is once a year at the Governor's Gun Club. amazing event.
And when is that?
That's this year is December 7th from 6 to 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. That is awesome. So Esther, that's a tough one to follow. But
I know.
you have to do it.
Well, we are on social media as well. We're on Instagram. You check us out at Global Blessing Inc. And then we're also on Facebook, the same, My Global Blessings Inc. Then phone numbers follows 470-813-4339, and our website as well, myglobalblessings.com. But you can always call and connect with us. We just ask that you spread the word out there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for taking the time driving through the Atlanta traffic, because it's not easy. We own traffic in this city.
We do.
Yes.
So coming into our studio was a real blessing for us. So I want you to, as we close down, we'll do this. Our viewers, share this episode with people that you think need to hear this story, and we'll have them back. And if you have questions, just post them and we'll make sure that we can answer those. So if you have any questions about, Global Blessings and what areas that you can help support them in, let us know. Thank you so much. Anne, thank you for making the connection.
Thank you.
This was really special. And thank you, Esther, for coming in and also bringing your husband. He's over there. He's cheering you on. So next time we'll have him on. So we haven't figured out how to get 3 people on. So we'll do that. We'll figure that out soon. Okay. Thank you so much.
So much.
Opportunity. Thank
Thank
you
you so
much.
much.
We're blessed to be here.
Welcome.